next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes.
I have questions on the minutes for Tuesday, February the 8th. I don't feel like these minutes are complete. And they also have a motion in there that didn't take place during the 8th meeting. It took place during the 15th meeting, which is the very last paragraph. Charles Raleigh made a motion to pull out of the Tri-Cities Utilities because we've heard that Benham is also pulled out.
That wasn't.
Yeah, I was there for that meeting.
That wasn't how it was said. It was made a motion to pull out of it until further information, not because Benham.
Yeah.
It wasn't this date.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't this date. That meeting we made a motion.
It was the next meeting.
I made a motion
Struck it
to.
out, the whole thing?
Yeah, the whole paragraph.
Yeah.
And a motion was made to appoint Charles to the committee. I made a motion to appoint Charles to the water board. It was seconded by Ben Graham.
Yeah.
And it was approved by all yes votes. Boyer abstained.
What date was that one?
It was on a regular meeting for the February the 8th.
February the 8th. So that whole bottom line needs to be
Just
correct.
that, we need to take out that whole paragraph.
And put
Yeah.
in,
And then put in that Dixon made a motion.
To appoint Charles Raleigh to the Tri-Cities Utilities Board.
And we need to,
What did the second one? That's the whole one.
okay. No problem.
Okay, the motion was made by Dixon that Charles Raleigh be appointed to the Tri-City Utilities Board.
It was seconded by Ben Graham.
Okay, got that. And everyone in favor, Norman abstained.
Yes.
Okay,
Can we get these changed for like the next meeting,
for next week, yeah.
have a copy so that we can keep for our records?
Yep.
I'm not really sure what all was discussed after that, because it was council comments and public comments, so I just kind of stopped taking notes there.
Why don't we just have to go back, hold on those and have to go back and listen to the tape and redo them?
Yeah. Let's do that. Tape, okay? That was for February 8th, right?
Yes.
You don't want to make that formal?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that
February 8th, meeting to be held, postponed.
until our next council meeting.
Okay.
I second his motion.
Really, right now, the first 30 minutes was set aside for a public hearing. So we should go ahead with the public hearing since we have so many people here, okay? We'll come back to the minutes.
Okay.
But, and during the public hearing now, this is a mandatory requirement that a city have a public hearing at least 3 or 4 times a year to hear from people in the public to tell us what they are interested in. It's not for individual complaints or things of that nature, but just suggestions for improvements that we could take. And the council is supposed to be listening to the citizens. So if you would, anyone that wants to tell the council anything that they can do to improve the performance and the conduct of our city, the floor is open for them.
Are we allowed to respond to
No,
that?
you shouldn't respond. No, just listen at this time. But what they tell you is what you could use to decide your votes on any issue. So we're here to listen for the first 30 minutes. So anyone that wants to open the floor for any subject that would not individual complaints or anything of that nature, but if I understand the rescue squad is a hot topic right now, something of that nature.
Is anybody here with that?
So anyone that's here has any kind of a suggestion that they want to input, we're willing to listen.
Well, I guess if nobody else, I'll start it. I've received a lot of calls from, this week's last.
Please stand
Oh,
up.
stand up.
Yeah.
Everybody knows me. Okay. Everybody knows I'm Yolanda Stanton. I don't
They
know.
won't pick it up on the tape if you don't come forward.
Okay, a little bit forward. like I said, I think everybody knows me. If I don't, I'm Yolanda Stanton. I used to work with the Tri-City Emergency Rescue Squad years ago, and I got out of it and it slowly went down. This last week we had a bad fatality up here on 119. The complaints that I got, and I know I can't address the council, I'll tell the council members, and I'm sure you got a lot of complaints too, that they had to call Harlan County to come up here and use the jaws to, get this lady out of the vehicle. This took over, I'm gonna have to ask charge 45 minutes because I know I was on the phone with him at the time. We had no rescue squad to respond. So therefore I did contact Joe Grisham and I did contact David Kennedy. David Kennedy has went to the Vanovers because that's who, is running the volunteers and the part of it. So what we need to do is just try to maybe to get more volunteers to go up there and volunteer from this area. And they can't keep you from volunteering. So if we just go up there and volunteer and get on there and try to help them out some. And like I said, David's going to come with y'all. He had a meeting up here at the Citizens Center, so he was going to be down here. But what we're going to try to do is, if you want to volunteer, we're going to get with Faith. She talked to Stephanie Vanover today, and we're going to have like a recruit, like recruit volunteers, where you go in and get trained. I mean, anybody can volunteer. If you can just do stand there and direct traffic, or you don't have to have no special skills. Just to be able to. You was on there. If you got anybody to help you direct traffic or anything. If you can volunteer, an hour a day. But hopefully we can get the rescue squad back. But David, like I said, he's in contact with them. We're going to have a recruiting, to recruit people. So we're going to try to remedy this situation, because you don't want it to be your family member there waiting for somebody out of Harlan to come up here. I know the woman, was a fatality, but what if she hadn't been? We could have got her out. And we have these jaws sitting up here in this squad building that belong to the county. But we have no volunteers on there to run it. It's run by a paid service. I say it like it is. It's run by a paid service, which they are the volunteers. Okay, if you've got all the people that's paid, that's on your service, that volunteers, they're not going to be out here being able to go to your car wreck or my car wreck, nothing, because they're paid to work for them. So that's what we're in the process of trying to do, is to get a recruiting up. And please, if you can join and just, give them, when you was on there, we started back. We did this how many times? 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. And it's a hard process, but once you get it taken like this, the people's got to pull it back. You people have got to take it. I don't have to live in the city. I've run it for years. I don't have to live in the city limits to run that. You don't have to live in the city limits. This is something that everybody, the council needs to work on. To get it done. But David will meet with y'all at the next regular council meeting, and we'll have a bigger update on it. So I know y'all received a lot of calls.